Or a road safety campaign song, and I'm just hoping that as we have embarked on this thought leadership campaign on road safety, I'm just hoping that we will listen to it and do the needful on our roads. You'd agree with me that per research, we've been told that each and every day at least 8 people die. At least 8 people die on a daily basis due to road crash in Ghana. Just this morning, before we took over from Joy 99.7, we were told that there was an accident around Ofanko, barrier area. And initially, the number of people who were told to have died was hovering around 20. That was the first, number that came through. But apparently, 7 have been confirmed. Many others are in critical condition. So if indeed 8 people die every day on our roads and 7 have died just around the Ofanko area, it means that today we're going to go beyond the 8 in Ghana. Why should that happen? Why should that happen? Because you woke up today, you took your shower, you put on your clothing, maybe you're going to work, maybe you're going to school, maybe you're going to trade, maybe you're going to buy a few items. Why should you die because you want to do those things? Why should you die? And that is why here at Love 99.5, we have embarked on this campaign. This campaign is to let people know the do's and don'ts on our roads. Now, the beautiful thing is this, that as we speak, over the years, Love FM has championed this. We've done this for a very long time, especially during Christmas and Easter. And, I'm proud to say that we've chalked some results. As we speak right now, when we embarked on our road safety campaign, one of the things we did was that we decided to speak to, the police. The MTTD have been with us in the studios of Love 99.5. We have also spoken to the DVLA. We've spoken to some insurance companies. NIC have been here. We have spoken to the Road Safety Authority themselves. But they are back in the studios of Love 99.5 with us today because, listen, there's a new Road Traffic Act. Listen carefully. There's a new Road Traffic Act. It is Act 1152. That is 1152. 53. Yeah. Okay. It's Act 1153. Then there's a new LI 2519. There's a new Road Safety Act. So the first one was a Road Traffic Act. And then there's a new Road Safety Act. That is Act 993. What does all this mean? What will it do for us on our roads to ensure safety? Just like we did with the campaign we embarked on to ensure that the construction of road was done from Lake to the Lake Bosomtwi, we want to win with this one, just like we won with the sanitation campaign as well. For those of you who missed it, take a listen to the DCE for Bosomtwi when we spoke to him after we realized that indeed works have begun on the Bosomtwi stretch, the Lake Bosomtwi stretch. This is what he had to say to us when we called him on a beautiful Friday morning. Take a listen.
Our voices were loud enough. In fact, the entire people of Bosomtwi, there are over 174,000 people, are grateful to Love FM for, in fact, this voice and the advocacy. Today we are here, we are celebrating. In fact, the entire Bosomtwi is rejoicing today because Love FM made it possible.
Because Love FM made it possible. So let's also make this one possible. Well, when you leave your home, you're traveling to the north, you're traveling to the south, wherever you're traveling to, we are safe on our roads. Now, I've been joined in the studios of Love 99.5 by Mr. Samuel Jima. He is with the National Road Safety Authority. Sammy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave.
And I trust you're well.
By God's grace, I'm doing well.
So Sammy walks into the studios and he says he listens to the Love FM High Schools debate all the time. He says he's happy that Prempeh College has won on 2 occasions.
And we are going to win again.
And you're going to win again.
Going to win again, yeah.
And then he says on his way to the studios of Love 99.5, he heard somebody from Opokuwari bragging, making reference to Delali Atiase.
Yes.
So you think Opokuwari will not be able to stand against Prempeh College, even if he should meet?
No, they can't.
They can't.
They can't. You know, we are always the masters. They are always the talkers. You know, so when it comes to doing the job, we do it.
And they don't.
Yeah, they don't. You know, they are good at beating, you know, these small schools. Of course, they are schools, and you expect that colleges will win over them. So, yeah.
Delali, I hope you had Samuel Chima. He said they are doers. You guys are talkers. Background from. So today we wish Opokuwari School well as well.
Okay.
But having said that, I mean, in my introduction, I made mention of the fact that per research, we're told that in Ghana, at least 8 people die as a result of crashes on our roads. Already out of Onko, we have been told that 7 have lost their lives. As somebody who works with the Road Safety Authority, how does that make you feel? Knowing that every day in Ghana, 8 people die as a result of road crashes. And again, as we speak, 7 have already died. You are supposed to ensure that we are safe on our roads. How does that make you feel?
But when you hear some of this news, sometimes you are even thinking, is it worth stepping out today? What is going to happen to the next person who walks by the roadside or probably gets into a vehicle? And you are thinking, what should be done next? You know, who is next? All these things comes to mind. And then you are asking yourself, what if it were, you know, a family member? What if it were a brother or a sister or a mother or a father? You know, I've always said that nobody knows how they are going to leave this world, but it is very, very, very painful if you have to leave this world through road accident, because you never plan for it, you never anticipate it, and then it doesn't also tells you I'm coming. You don't plan, you know, you don't. You are leaving the house saying to people in the house that expect me tomorrow morning or expect me in the evening, with high expectations of making the day beneficial. But, you know, if care is not taken because of somebody's unwarranted action, somebody's inaction, somebody's ignorance, somebody's recklessness, you would not go back home to your family. So,
would you say that the National Road Safety Authority has done enough or is doing enough to ensure that we are safe on our roads?
In fact, to say enough means we have done it all. But I would say there is more room for improvement for us to, you know, we need to be doing more than we are doing. And I think we can do better until our good is better and our better best. I think that we have to be doing more than we are doing.
In which areas do you think you need to do better or do more?
Okay, so in the area of enforcement, with the sensitization, trust to me, we are doing it. Sometimes you go to these drivers, the transport unions, the vehicle owners, and they are telling you, road safety, you know, enough of the talk, you need to buy it. Enough of the talk, you need to buy it.
The transport owners and unions are telling you that you need to buy it.
Yes, you need to buy it. And, you know, as you see, biting in Ghana, if care is not taken, if it doesn't go the way you plan it to be, have so many repercussions. So I think the authority needs to up our game when it comes to.
Before this new act came through, and I'm talking about this act that we're talking about, the Road Traffic Act 1153, the Road Safety Act 993, did you have the mandate or the power to bite?
Okay.
Did you have it before this was introduced?
No.
You didn't have it?
No.
Now you have this?
Now we have the mandate as an authority to bite.
Fine. So let me shelve that question then for later, because I'll get there. But from where you sit, what would you say are some of the major causes of road crashes on our, I mean, what is it? Because people are of the view that, weather can play a role, or the vehicle's condition can play a role, the person behind the wheel can play a role, or even the road, the nature of the road can play a role. You are the expert. What would you say are the major causes of accidents on our roads?
Okay, so the first thing I'll mention will be the human factor. I will put indiscipline as part of the human factor. David, we are not in a place where we don't know things that happens. In fact, even as we are in the studio, we can tell of the things happening on our road, even though we are not there. So as drivers and as road users, we do anticipate what can happen if I do A or B or C. The choices we make when we are using the road as pedestrians, the choices we make when we are using the road as drivers, as passengers, do have repercussions. Do have repercussions. So I'll first talk about what I call indiscipline, and then normally it leads to errors that causes deaths and injury. Dave, we are a people and a country where we have so many beautiful laws, yet we as a people would always want to do things the other way, thinking that we should be the ones that should do it and then go scot-free. We are thinking we know Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. We come from family A, family B, family C, and for that matter, the laws that should govern our country, our roads, we should be exempted from them. So people boldly go against road traffic regulations, and it is not like the regulation that governs how marriages should be. With road traffic regulations, if you go against them, there are punitive measures. If we don't take you on in court, the road has its own way of punishing you.
And that is the crashes that we have where the injuries and the deaths happen.
Yes.
But you mentioned that you're not everywhere on our roads. But unfortunately, we have our police officers on our roads.
Yes, of course.
Would you say that they're doing what is required of them?
Of course, they are doing what is required of them. Dave, enforcement starts with us. The population of the police, just opposed to the population that we have in Ghana, the police can't be everywhere checking everything on our roads. But it is incumbent on us as road users to decide to learn what is required of us as road users when we get onto the road. For instance, as a pedestrian, how do I use the road safely? You don't need to be forced into a classroom to learn how to use the road safely as a pedestrian. You have to take advantage, search for them. They are everywhere, on our social media, on our phones, on our computers. They are everywhere. On radio like Love FM, almost every time we are educating people on how to use the road as pedestrians, keeping to your left whilst you are walking on the road, making sure vehicles are coming from the front of you instead of coming from behind you, making sure you don't put earpieces and hands-free in your ear whilst walking on the road. All these things are basic things that, in fact, even at the kindergarten, you are taught when you see the traffic light, those rhymes. And growing up, we are being taught that some of these things, because our teachers wanted to rhyme them, there were little issues with them. But we are correcting those mishaps that people were like, when you see the traffic light, red means stop, yellow means get ready, green means go, and go. And then now we are saying that red means stop, yellow means stop, green means go if or when the traffic is clear. So we are correcting the ones that used to be. But the fact is that pedestrians need to learn. It's like trying to make a cloth. If you don't learn how to use the sewing machine, you get yourself injured. People don't want to learn how to use the road, but yet they want to use the road. And they think the way they're using the road is the way they have to use the road. Dave, let me give you a perfect example. When we are in our villages, the roads are made by our feet. The more we take a path, it becomes a road for us. Now, one rich man gets a motorcycle, and then when he's coming, we run into the bush for safety. Instead of the rider finding his way around us, we as the road users, the makers of that road, run into the bush for cover, thinking that our security is at stake. These mentalities that we carry from our villages, from our hometowns and the rest, we bring them onto the roads that we have currently in the country.
I'm happy you talked about, the way pedestrians use our roads. And for me, I'm always amazed as to why somebody is crossing a street. Even KNUST campus, students who should know better, are crossing the streets, and some of them, they are typing a message while they're crossing the street. You understand? Some of them, like you said, they have the earpieces on, the headsets on. So if there's a danger around you and somebody's alerting, you cannot hear. But my issue with the police, and I'm raising this before you because I'm believing that we are all stakeholders.
Of course.
Even when, ASP Alexander Obeng joined us in the studios, and he is the director for training, research, and we had, the regional commander for MTTD, Wedi, also with us. People called in and said, the police are always interested in their bribes. They're not interested in ensuring that the person on the road is doing the right thing.
Okay. So David, let me come from this tangent. There's one policeman and there's one driver, and then about 12, or let me take a taxi, minimum 4 other passengers in the car. Now, this driver commits. There's only one driver, one policeman, and then 4 other people who are Ghanaians, who should also be people who are looking out for the good of the country.
And themselves.
Now,
and
themselves as well. Now, it will interest you to know that the driver, in his attempt to buy their lives for or buy his way to continue doing wrong, would ask some of the passengers, the minimum 4 people, that can you give me something to give to this man? And then they will all oblige, and then probably put their heads together to give the driver something to be given to the law enforcer. I've always said that whenever people want to do good happen in Ghana, it is because the 4 people or the 12 people in the total decide to keep quiet. They make a choice that they are late. Instead of making sure that the right things are done, they are saying, Master, take the money and then let us go. I've always said no policeman puts his hand in the pocket of drivers to take money.
So how do we fix that problem?
So Ghanaians would have to appreciate that whenever anybody is giving money to anybody, and then you are in the person's vehicle, the person is buying your life at the cost of the money that he's paying. And it will interest you to know that sometimes they are giving 2 cedis, 5 cedis, 10 cedis at the expense of the lives of the people in the car. And all these people are quiet.
And indeed, we've talked about these same things, during this campaign, that if you're in a bus, we know what happened at that tanker, the SEC bus, the 2 pickups and the Sorrento vehicle, that lives were lost.
Yes.
That when you are in the bus, the lady who was in the SEC bus was in the same studio, so she was seated in that chair there. And she said to her, what she saw was that it was the recklessness and carelessness of the STC driver that caused the accident. So I asked, they in the bus, didn't anybody say anything?
Of course.
That is the problem we are having. So based on that, this new, before we even talk about the Road Traffic Act, this new Road Safety Act, what is in there that is new that can change the way we use our roads? This Road Safety Act 993. What does it say? How is it going to help us?
Okay, so right now, what the authority is seeking to do is that, previously we were not an authority, but per the Act 993 of 2019, we are now an authority. The power we now have is that we have the power to issue compliance notices.
What does that mean?
For instance, the lady you talked about is in a vehicle. The driver is misbehaving. All that we need is the information. We have been advising people to speak up.
Okay.
When you speak up, there's always a reaction. Either the driver stops doing the wrong, or sometimes they even overdo it when you speak up. And then you get other passengers actually telling you that shut up, or probably supporting what you are saying. Either way, get us the evidence. You can do it. We have our phones, Android, and just put a recording. Make sure that don't confront them. Sometimes if you try to confront them, they may even harm you. So just get us the evidence. You can even drop off, take a picture of the car, and then with the evidence, send it to the National Road Safety Authority. We would address the organization that the vehicle belongs to. Per the new Act 993, all vehicles are supposed to belong to unions or companies.
All vehicles?
All vehicles.
That is
commercial vehicles.
Okay.
They are all supposed to belong to unions or companies.
What if they fail to belong to a union or a company?
So if you fail to belong to a union or a company, it means that you can't ply. Going forward, you can't ply on our roads.
How do you know and what would happen?
Okay. So what we have started doing is that we have started registering the existing unions that we have. We have started giving them guidelines. We are telling them that, in fact, most of them have come around to do their registration. After a while, that is after the time government allows us, we are going to enforce that if you don't belong to a union, you can't you can't be doing commercial transport business in Ghana.
Do you have any timelines as to when this will take effect?
Yes,
because,
in fact.
well, we know the Wawa people.
Yes.
And then when they do the Wawa driving and they mess up, because they don't belong to any union or any organization or company or of a sort, you're not able to really,
get them. Yo, sir. So what is happening is that, everything that we do as Ghanaians, there are timelines. Sometimes because it has to do with people and then attitudes, we give more time for people to change, for people to understand. For road safety, we don't just say this is the law, follow it. we make sure people understand and are willing to oblige. Beyond that, then we start doing the enforcement. So we are now compiling we are now working with the existing unions, institutions to make sure that their members are registered.
There was this video, and if Joel can project that video also on our Facebook, where we saw it was vivid. A SNIT vehicle was driving carelessly, recklessly, forgive my language, foolishly on the Accra-Kumasi stretch. And he could easily have caused an accident. Have you seen that video?
No, I'm yet to see it.
If I show that video to you right now, give me a minute or two, Joel will show it.
Okay.
If you should see that video, right, what action would you take? And I'm asking this question based on the fact that you're saying that all commercial vehicles should belong to a union.
Yes.
What about the other vehicles?
The private.
Yes.
Yes. So as you mentioned, SNIT. If we
and
get
SNIT is not necessarily
a commercial,
probably,
I'm just using them as an example. So let's say we encounter a Love FM vehicle.
Our vehicle not do that.
Okay.
So and then use the Road Safety Authority.
Road Safety Authority vehicle. Road Safety Authority's vehicle, and then the driver is misbehaving on the road.
Yeah.
We need evidence.
Okay.
So once we get the evidence, we write a compliance note to the institution.
And what will be in the note?
The note will state what the driver has done, give them the evidence, and then get them to get us the driver to come and face the law.
Oh, okay.
So, and then we give them timelines as to when they should come. In fact, normally, even recently, what has been happening is that in conjunction with DVLA, sometimes when we get some of these videos, we just forward them to DVLA, and then they block you from doing your roadworthy and then renewal. So you go to any place in Ghana, you want to do your roadworthy, and then you are referred back to DVLA's office to go and then pay some penalties, and then before you for that action or inaction you committed, before your roadworthy licenses will be renewed.
Okay.
So currently that is what we are doing. But going forward, the authority intends to send compliance notices to these institutions. Sometimes it may include the institutions making sure that such drivers do not even drive again. We can even revoke your licenses for using the road. As an authority.
So pause and watch this monitor.
Okay.
So this is the vehicle.
Okay.
See, and that's a SNIT vehicle coming from behind there. Look at it.
Okay.
See what it's doing.
Okay.
And there are speed humps there. See. You say Jesus. Okay. This has nothing to do with Jesus. See. And that's a SNIT vehicle. So we have the vehicle number. Are you telling me and my listeners and my team that if we give you the number right now, you take action?
Of course we can. And we will.
You can and you will.
And we will. So trust to me, it will marvel. People will be marveled that given a little time, this driver and then SNIT would probably even come here and then probably attest to the fact that
they've been punished or sanctioned,
have been taken.
That's what we want, because we want sanity on our roads.
Of course.
What about private vehicles?
So
the same thing. You take my vehicle number.
Yeah.
Also, and that has to do with when somebody takes evidence and makes it available to the Road Safety Authority.
Yes. So per the new Act 1153.
Yeah.
And then the LI 2519. We are saying that DVLA is going to now give new registration numbers.
Yeah, the one with the chips embedded in them.
So these registration numbers belongs to the individual. So that if you are taking a vehicle's number and the person is misbehaving like the way this gentleman is doing, we can identify that person, send him notifications,
a message
to go and then pay for the recklessness that he might have committed on the road. 2, if the person fails beyond 2 weeks, the person is taken to court to face the law, and then the person can be either jailed or be made to pay some fines. But again, that is where we are going.
But you also know that phasing off the old number plates and introducing the new ones is going to be done gradually.
Of course.
Over a period of time, maybe even years.
Of course.
So for somebody who drives recklessly and has the old number plate, how do you trace the person?
So currently, what you have in place is that we will take the vehicle registration number. We give ourselves some 6 months. We know that as a private vehicle, within a year, the person would have to go back to DVLA and do
the renewal.
So once the person enters the DVLA's office to do the roadworthy, it pops up. It pops up to them and then tell you this gentleman has an issue that the person needs
That
to
is if
resolve.
somebody saw it and has
Yes,
reported
and
it.
then has with evidence, of course.
And that is why we all need to be vigilant on our roads.
Yes.
And like somebody has taken this video of
Yes.
this Senate vehicle, that is evidence enough. That's going to ensure that the right thing
Of
will be done
course,
from
of
the
course.
DVLA
Yes.
and of course the Road Safety
Road
Authority.
Safety.
Now, per this new act, I was reading something about every vehicle should have an insurer that would give him a towing vehicle to take your vehicle off the road
Okay.
in case of a fault.
Okay.
Now, I know that some of the times, especially when you're traveling on the highways, Accra, Takra, some of the vehicles break down. They do not have the warning triangles. If you're lucky, they put some branches there.
Yes.
And the vehicle can be there sometimes for days. But this new act says what? Read it out for me. What does the new act say?
Okay. So the new act is such that, okay, let me start with the old act.
Okay.
The old LI.
Yeah.
With the old LI, you had 2 hours on the highways to make sure your vehicles are taken off.
By yourself.
The responsibility was with you.
And we
by
had,
yourself.
we had 2 hours.
We had 2 hours on the highway.
Per that old law,
LI.
if the
2180.
the legislative instrument,
Yeah.
if somebody fails to do that in 2 hours, within the 2 hours, what happens?
So if somebody fails to do that, the person the person is taken on to court to
But we see cars on our roads one
The truth
one
is
week,
that-
1 week,
the
2
truth is that,
weeks.
around 2016, 2017, the National Road Safety Authority had wanted to take it upon themselves that if after beyond the 2 hours you don't do it,
You come
then
and take
road
it away.
safety comes in and then take it away, and then the people had to pay a fee for road safety to be able to finance this activity. But unfortunately, because things didn't go well with Ghanaians,
It was shut down,
we
I mean.
had to go back and then come again. Now we are saying that as an authority and per the new LI 2519, we are saying that towing is in the bosom of National Road Safety Authority.
Say that again.
Towing is in the bosom of National Road Safety Authority.
Okay.
Such that every vehicle, either private or commercial, needs to have a towing company that the vehicle, the owner works with. That within an hour of your vehicle breaking down, regardless whether you are on a highway or in town, you would have to take your vehicle off. What do you have to do?
Within 1 hour.
Within 1 hour.
Okay.
What you have to do as the vehicle owner or as a driver is to make sure that within the hour you have called your vehicle insurer, who is also who we per the new LI, we are saying that you either have an insurance policy covering your towing, or you have a company, a towing company who is in charge of your towing, and you have to give us evidence.
Okay, so let's take it one after the other. I'm interested in this because people's vehicles break down on the roads. They leave it there for days. People run into them. It causes accidents and all that. What you're saying is that whether you're a commercial vehicle operator
Or
or
a private.
a private, you need, per law, you need to have an insurance
Yes.
for your vehicle.
Yes.
And you have to display your sticker on the front windscreen
Of course.
of your vehicle.
Of course.
Now, what you're saying is that, one, if you're going to do that insurance policy, you need to tell the insurance company that they should also give you a towing company that you'd work with.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Now, when I am paying my premium to the insurance company, do I also need to pay something for the towing company?
Yes, something.
Or I need to wait till they are towing my vehicle before I pay?
No. So in the case where you, as the owner of the vehicle, chooses to work with an insurance company, then you would have to pay something whilst you are buying your insurance cover.
How much?
In fact, I'm not very, very certain about the amount.
Roughly?
But, in fact, I'm not certain.
Roughly.
So I don't want to put
No, I'm building a question in my mind.
Yes.
Roughly.
Yes.
Even without roughly,
no.
I strongly disagree with that session.
Let him land. You let him land.
you know, so-
maybe when he lands, maybe we'd
Yes.
understand him. Go ahead.
So we are saying that you, as the owner of the vehicle,
Pay that money to the insurer. Why?
you choose to either work with the insurance company to take care of your towing.
Sammy, work with me.
Okay, so
You were doing the first
as
one
the-
with the insurance.
Yes, with the
company.
insurance.
You're saying I should pay something to the insurance
Yes.
company. Why?
Because when your vehicle breaks down, you put other people's lives in danger.
I agree.
Two, when your vehicle breaks down, aside putting other people's lives in danger, you also put your property in danger.
What if I never have any breakdown of my vehicle?
The truth is that nobody knows when their vehicles are going to break down.
And I'm saying to you,
It's like
hold on.
it's
Sammy,
like saying that.
Sammy,
It's
hold
like
on.
saying that.
No, Sammy, don't go any further.
It's like
Sammy,
saying
don't go
that.
any further. Don't go any further. I have driven for years, And when the NIC guys came, I told them, I've never been involved in an accident before. And yet I'm paying for insurance and haven't benefited for over 30 years.
And then you're coming to add towing.
Now you tell me to pay for a towing service attached to my insurance.
Which you may not never
And
need.
I might not have any mechanical problem. That my vehicle, let's say, so within 1 year, if I don't have a breakdown of vehicle that I'm leaving it on the road, what happens to my money I've paid?
Okay, so David, it is like asking, why do I pay insurance but I don't have accidents?
Exactly.
So we are saying that you don't pay it because you are going to have accidents. You pay it because we are looking out for your good and then the good of others.
And I'm saying I
How-
agree.
How about letting people pay for the towing service
there's-
as and when they need it?
Exactly.
The truth is that we have worked with that system for quite a long time, and all of us would attest to the fact that people are not responsible enough to make sure their vehicles are
So
taken
what you
off.
should do-
What they have been doing is that
Forgive me if I'm bantering with you. Then what you should do is that when somebody sees that vehicle there, road safety authority, go and tow it.
Yeah.
Let the person pay an extra fine plus a towing fee.
Free, yeah. So I wanted
Okay.
to ask, how many towing trucks do you have in your fleet at road safety?
Okay, so right now I can't give you. In fact, the government is now because the law is new. The government is now getting us some of these towing
So
vehicles. to work
basically, you
with.
don't have
But
enough
we are-
towing trucks.
We are,
But they're
no,
private,
not-
they're private ones.
We have private
so
ones.
You can,
that
all
are
I'm saying is use the
yeah,
private
like
ones.
I just want to
we
get
have,
something.
we have
clear.
private ones that the assemblies are working with right now.
Okay.
So even as we speak, when some of these things happen and then people want towing services, they call road safety and then we direct them to some of these private.
And then they go and tow them.
And tow them.
So if somebody's vehicle breaks down and they don't call and leave it there, what are the measures in place?
So
And
currently-
let's say I call.
Okay, so currently, when you call and then you tell us A, B, C, and then at this
I'm
point,
saying if the person doesn't call,
If the person
and leaves the
doesn't call.
vehicle there,
so
what are the,
if the person doesn't call be on a highway beyond 2 hours, if anybody calls National Road Safety Authority to actually come in, what we do is that we call the nearby police station and then get the MTTD to go and then assess the situation. When they go and then assess the situation, if there is available towing vehicle that can actually tow that vehicle, then they quickly move in and they make sure that they tow the vehicle from that spot to a safe spot. And then the owners are made to pay for the towing cost and then the charges that
Plus the fine.
that comes with it.
So why are we not?
why are
so
you
why are we
not doing
changing?
that?
So the reason why we are changing it is that the National Road Safety Authority needs to actually get the resources to be able to tow these things away
Sammy,
without
Sammy, forgive me.
without the people actually debating whether they have monies to pay for the cost or not.
Sammy, so
the sad truth is that
I sit here, and to some extent I sit here for my own self, but largely for my listeners.
of course.
I have paid for an insurance for my vehicle, and for 10, 15, 20 years or more, I have not benefited from any insurance company because I have not been involved in an accident. But I'm paying. When I spoke to the NIC people, that's the National Insurance Commission,
Yes.
I said, so if, for example, there was a way you can say 1 year, when your accident, you policy, you say by 20 cities. The following year, no accident, you have by 50 cities. No accident, you have by. Then I get to a place where I'm paying only 50 cities for insurance because me treat your baby better,
Of course.
and I'm not benefiting. I will understand. But I'm paying 550, 570 for what? Now you're telling me that you are going to add towing of a vehicle from the road to my insurance policy that I have to pay. Unfortunately, you don't have the figure offhand. Fine. But within 1 year, my vehicle has not been on the road to distract anybody. My vehicle is moving smoothly, but I've paid the money.
So what I'm saying is that there's a choice you need to make.
Okay, so let's talk about the second one.
Yes. So the second option is that as I said, you are either choosing to work with the insurance company where you pay upfront before the unwanted happens, or you choose to work with a company. You know, we have private companies.
The towing companies, yes.
Or that it is a matter of negotiating. If you as an individual go to these companies and then they agree to give you the cover. That whenever, yes, in fact, I'm trying to make people understand that when the private company understands that whenever there is an issue, call us wherever you are, we will come and then tow your vehicle, and then you will pay us. All that National Road Safety Authority needs to see is that you have something that covers you when there is a breakdown.
So let's do this. When I go to that private company, towing company, per the act,
The new
the new LI, sorry, I negotiate with the towing company. I might not necessarily have to pay them money up front.
Yes, that is if
they will agree.
If the two parties agree.
Have you spoken to the towing companies?
Of course, they are.
Has Road Safety Authority, have you spoken to the
we are at the sensitization stage. In fact, this law was passed 2025. It just received its assent in 2026. So we are at the sensitization stage. In fact, we are in Ashanti region. We are yet to meet all these towing.
When you meet with them, are you going to tell them that they should take money up front and give the cover that they will be towing the vehicles, or you tell them that they can just go on some agreement and say, okay, this is an agreement between you and David. So anytime David calls you to go and tow his vehicle, go and tow the vehicle and then take your money. How is it going to work?
Okay, so this is how things will probably be.
Is it probably be,
yes,
or what it will be?
Yeah, what things would be.
Because you said probably.
Yeah, let me put this way. What things would be.
Okay.
The truth is that we are going to tell them that currently every vehicle needs to either work with one of them
or an insurance company.
Or an insurance company.
And with the insurance company, they're paying the money ahead, up front.
It depends. Yeah, trust me, this is business, and people want to stay in business. So what happens is that, and people want their cars taken off. Trust me, if your car should stay beyond the 1 hour, and the road safety comes in to tow it compulsorily,
you pay a fine.
You pay a fine and some penalties.
Sure.
So it's going to be very, 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 very costly. So I'm thinking that people would always run to take cover with the companies and then the insurance companies. But the truth is that people should understand that you do that to aid you. You do that to aid yourself. You do that to help yourself in case your vehicle breaks down. Because if you don't, and then the unfortunate happens, the cost and the fines you pay when National Safety Authority takes you off the road will be quite high. Okay. But I had wanted to read the towing law so that we...
Have you found it?
Yes, I'm just opening it up. I would want to read it out
because
for us to... I would want to read it out for us to...
And you say that this is now law?
Yes, this is now
because
law.
Because it's been assented to?
Yes. This is now law. And then we have an LI to that effect.
I see.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you said when you go to the unions and the terminals, the drivers and the union heads tell you that you're not biting enough. You're not biting enough. And that is where I brought in the issue of the police, where people believe that the police are on our roads and yet they're not doing much to ensure our safety. This time around, how will you be biting?
Okay. So this time around, what we are going to do is that because we are going to push all our people into unions and then companies, it will be very, very difficult easy to identify them when they do wrong. The police are working with Traffic Tech, where when people do wrong on the road, we have cameras taking pictures and videos as evidence. Now, if you do that, if an incident happens once, twice, or something, and then road safety wants to take an action, we write a compliance notice to the organization. Saying that we have evidence of your vehicles, your fleet doing A, B, C that are unlawful. So there's a need for you to take action to resolve these issues. We give you timelines to resolve them based on the law, of course. And then when you fail to comply, then we take you to court. We give you timelines. When you fail to comply, we take you on to court. Now the towing aspect. Let me read something to you. The regulation 127. It says it is like this, that the person responsible for breaking down vehicle has a duty to take steps to remove it and use an appropriate certified licensed towing service where applicable. So the duty is on you. But we, per the law, where a breaking down vehicle creates a dangerous situation, the police or regulatory authority, which is NRSA, may arrange compulsory towing or authorize a service provider to tow it compulsorily without you, the person's, your consent. At first, sometimes you block their vehicles. Sometimes you block their vehicles and then they come saying, sometimes you block their vehicles and then they come saying, no. We are not within the time that we are supposed to take it off. And
the 1 hour,
yes.
Cool.
But right now, when road safety comes and then we don't get evidence that you are working with somebody to come and take it off. We compulsorily take it off, and then you pay that fine.
Listen, the LIs and the acts are many. Eugene, hitherto, these Aboboyas and Pragas and co, they were not licensed or registered to operate commercially. But now the law allows them to register, get training, belong to unions, and then they can operate commercially. So it's going to be, put together with per the law that I've read.
To be easy to identify
Exactly. So in the subsequent days, we'll find time to bring him back to tell us what the airline really talks about.
Yeah.
But today we decided to look at vehicles.
Yeah.
And this bit about the towing from our let's see what our listeners also have to say. Call us now on 055 144 5225. So it's 0551. Which number?
This number.
Which number?
0544 009616.
Okay, so the number to call us on is 0544 009616. That is 055 009616. What do you make of this new towing system that they're introducing?
Let me help you. Currently,
help me. Okay, go ahead. Help me.
Well, currently, what is running is that when people's vehicles break down, they call their family members. I am at Abeswa. My vehicle is down.
Don't forget
this location.
Don't forget about Abeswa. Listen to this caller. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Yes, sir. What's that saying?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, senior.
Okay. We know Ghana for especially police.
First of all, what's your name, sir?
Steven, David.
Steven, good to have you, Steven. Steven, go ahead, sir.
Police for na come Ghana, the entity Ghana. Who say Ubia loading Yama. Say the police for no bed charging a man who said the away and engine. Not saving the personal interest in it, or just Kanama, Robin in the Esquaso. Or my night, Timono, the BI and just a it's in your way. Now we call Lamley, Ghana and Burkina Faso. So should be a drove for the loading your mamma can first say, Sequem one of my one of my or take care of the PIT. The one I do not would them care about. That's all be similar. Maybe what about the Tosa?
We hear
you. I also like to be what. No one will say be a day. I say
so all Stephen is saying is that he thinks that it's a good move and that we need to support this move. So call us on 0544 009616.
I like what he said. He said that the vehicle loads and then gets off the loading point as in a station or a terminal. Now, note that it is somebody that loads the vehicle. This person is privy to the fact that there's a limit to loading this vehicle, but the person loads it anyway to that extent.
But that's why we have the axle loads as well on our roads.
So I'm saying that the enforcement in Ghana, I've always said that if you don't move from the old thinking that enforcement only lies in the bosom of the police, then we have ourselves to be blamed. We have always taken the police on enforcement issues. But the challenge we have is that when people do not appreciate and understand and accept that the law should be enforced on them, that is where we have the Jantwahine and all these people working.
And for me, I've Jantwahine for people severally. I've stopped though. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Your names, please.
Yeah, Kwame.
Kwame, good to have you. So, what's your take on all that you've heard so far? Hello, Kwame. Hello, Kwame.
Sorry, I would have to load some credit before calling back. I just have 1 minute.
And you have 1 minute. Don't worry. So load up and call us. But our number to call us on is 0544 009616. 0544 009616. We're talking to the Road Safety Authority. They have some new airlines that has come to force. Let's see how it will help.
David, MTN phones, your credit is signed, and once your credit is finished, no more trust. Now you can load and also TB. David, another person is back.
Hi, good morning.
David, good morning.
What's your name, sir?
Nana Kwame.
Your name is?
Nana Kwame.
Nana Kwame. Nana Kwame. Nana, welcome, Nana. Let's hear you.
David, he spoke about the towing. But the one thing I want to ask them is that how feasible is it? Because a car breaks down. Are they going to have cameras along all our roads? Because a car will break down somewhere. And how are they even going to find out that there's a car broken down somewhere? If apart from the major routes. So, David, have they tried it? Is it feasible? Yes. I just want to find out from you.
Well, he's saying yes, rather than.
Yes.
I hear. Okay.
So he's going to give you answer why he's saying yes. And thanks very much, Nana Kwame, for calling. You can also give us a call. 0544 0544-009616. We can pick two more calls and then he would answer the questions for us. 0544-009616. You can call us, and all that you've heard so far in terms of how they are ensuring road safety issues, you can share your views and your thoughts with us. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Lai.
Lai, good to have you, Lai. Go ahead, sir.
It's a laudable idea to do this towing thing. What will strengthen is to have some few agents closer to the main roads or our sub roads. That will fix the problem. 2, the enforcement have to be enforced. The enforcement has to be enforced. Many people are not obliged to the driving rules. He doesn't know I'm coming from a minor road, so joining a main road, I need to exercise patience. So these men, when you look at, I've driven in Accra, I've driven in Takoradi, I've driven in Kumasi. Excuse my life, Kumasi, most drivers are west. So I get worried when I hear those accidents on Kumasi Road. They need to look at all these things.
I hear you.
With all due respect. And our security to have to take care of all these things. So thanks so much for
Lai. Thank you very much, Lai, also for calling us on the show as well. We can pick one more. If we lost you, call us back so we can hear you. You'll be our final caller. But somebody wants to know how feasible this is. And let me speak to Ifya first. Ifya, good morning, and thanks very much for joining the show, Ifya. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
The Lord is my shepherd as always. I'm well.
Okay. So, yes, what he's saying is very noble. But to leave the responsibility on us as Ghanaians, the Ghanaians that I know and I think to know, I'm afraid it won't work. You drive around and you realize that people's consciences are severe. So those who are paid to enforce should really enforce. I mean, you go abroad, wherever you go, people don't do the right thing simply because they want to do the right thing.
But because
they do the right thing because they know that there are consequences to doing the wrong thing. And that is normal. It is common sociology.
Yeah.
So those who are made to enforce should enforce. Look at the foreign cars that have been passing to Burkina Faso and the rest. Look at the heap of laws they have. Who is watching and who is calling them to order?
Ifya, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate your call. And of course, you know, so you've heard your listeners. What do you want to say to them?
Yes.
Somebody says, Nana Kwame says, is this thing feasible?
Feasible, yes. And
somebody says, make sure that you have people
will it work?
Yeah.
Yes. And then how are we going to capture these broken down vehicles on our highways and the rest?
Like he also says same. Yes. So let's hear you.
So to Ifya, I'll say that it will work.
Okay.
The reason why it will work is that we are not the only ones, the only country trying to practice this style, this way of towing. Others have used it and it's working.
Like who?
Like the UK. You know, in UK, if your vehicle breaks down, you have a cover already. So it is just a matter of calling them to come and tow it away. So we have countries that are doing it and it's working. The challenge we have is that we need to have the infrastructure to make it work. And, you know, these fees that there's small fees.
There's not small fees. You didn't mention a figure, so
yes,
this is small.
In fact, in my eyes, I'm thinking it is very small compared to the lives that we are losing on our roads.
That I would agree.
David, the truth is that
I would agree.
Just some few days ago, I was giving you this example at Abeswa, where the driver has his vehicle broken down. He called the family members and told them, I'm at Abeswa at this location. All family members are aware, so nobody from the family runs into the family. But unsuspected road users, drivers would run into them because they don't know that these vehicles might have been broken down on these curves and the rest. And then they end up dying, getting injuries, incapacitated to be able to work again. This thing, I've always said that this towing thing is godly. Ghanaians should embrace it. Ghanaians should think of it as something that will save somebody's life, somebody you don't know, somebody that is not part of your family, whose life needs to be saved. If we think of it that way, then we would encourage that we do it this way.
So you mentioned the UK thing, and I just wanted to do some cross check.
Yes.
It says with breakdown cover, says your provider pays.
Thank you.
So if you hold an active policy with companies like, and they mentioned some of the insurance companies there, the cost of towing is included in your membership terms.
Thank you.
And it talks about policy limits that apply. So basic plans may only cover a short tow, example, maybe 10 miles or depending on the distance and all that. And so that's what.
So it has been done elsewhere and can be done here. The truth is that if you think of yourself alone, if you are thinking you haven't had a broken down vehicle in a while and that you don't have to pay,
your salary,
you'll be putting somebody's life in the at risk. Senior, there was this issue at Mamponten Dumanafo, where a vehicle actually crashed into 2 motorcycles. Now these people had to stay under the vehicle from 9 p.m. when the crash was reported to about 2-3 a.m. before we could get a bigger towing vehicle to go and tow the vehicle off these persons. And even when they were taken out of that area, you could see that their lives, in fact, the probability that they were going to lose their lives was very high. We are saying that enough of these deaths and injuries. Let Ghanaians embrace this towing policy and help National Road Safety Authority tow off these vehicles from our roads.
This has been part 1.
Yeah.
The part 2 we focus on the motorcycles. I never knew there was quadricycles or something.
We do have them.
No, I'm saying I never knew till I read, the law.
Okay.
I know we have the tricycles, but I never knew we had the quad.
They are there. They are there.
And there's no law governing the operations on the road.
Yes.
And even when you have a private bike, you want to use it for commercial, the law frowns on it.
Of course.
And for those of you who are even operating commercially, there's a
way to go about
a system
it.
to.
Yes.
We'll be talking about that as part of our road safety campaign in the coming days. Please stay with us. This is Love 99.5. We'll be crossing over to join 99.7 when we get the green light. But for now, let this song sink in.